What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing this awesome smoky New Year's Eve look. I didn't want to use any glitter, any wing liner, keep it nice and simple for you. And I wanted to do something a little different, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, prime your skin accordingly. I'm using the Cover FX Mattifying Primer. This has salicylic acid in it, so if you're acne prone skin, perfect for you. And since we're going for a little bit more of a dramatic look today, I like to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Chocolate. Anytime I want more of a prominent brow, this is what I go for. And then we're going to go ahead and prime the eyes with the Kat Von D High Voltage Primer. I love this primer. It is so good. I'm just going to blend it all out with my finger. And then always make sure I like to set my primer with a translucent powder. This is just going to make the blending process so much easier, all right? And so since this eye is a little bit more dramatic, I'm not going to fast forward it. I'm just going to let it go in real time. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the Tartelette in Bloom palette, starting off with Rebel. Whenever you're doing a smoky eye, you want to start off with the lighter shades and then build it up to the darkest, because if you just go ahead and throw on the dark shade, you're going to have a very hard time blending it out, all right? So first things first, we're putting it in the crease, and then we're just going to go back and forth. I'm using a Morphe brush, a blending brush. Then moving on to the next color, we're going to use Leader, and it's a little bit darker than Rebel. And then we're going to put this all in the crease, in the inner and outer. I like these two tones for the crease just simply because they're nice and warm. The Rebel color is soft, like a softer blush tone, and then the Leader is a little bit more, has a little more purple undertone to it. I'm just going to put that in the crease as well. Next, I'm going to switch my brush. Since I needed the black to stay more so in the crease and on the lid, we're going to go to the next darkest shade, which is Activist. This is kind of like a charcoal brown color, and this is going in the crease, but since we're using more of a tapered pointed brush, I don't want it to go too high up. So we're going to do the same thing again to the inner corner and the outer corner, and it's perfectly fine. I actually want this darker shadow in the inner corner because we're going to do a little bit of a halo eye. And then to help blend everything out, I'm just going in with my MAC 224, my favorite blending brush of all time, and just go ahead and make sure you blend everything out. Smoky eyes are just a lot of adding and blending, adding and blending. All right, now for the deepest shade, this one's called Smoke Show, and this one is definitely more gray than the other shadow. And we're doing the same thing again, just put it right over top of the first color, and we're gonna blend that right on out. Next, I'm switching to a MAC 217 brush. Now this is a more dense brush, so it's going to really help blend those harsh lines. And when you're blending, I like to go in windshield wiper motions, and I like to do circular motions. The circular motions is a game changer. When I started doing that, it helped out so much. Next, for the center of the lid, I'm just going to go in and add a little bit more eye primer because I really want this color to stick. And then next, we're using the Urban Decay After Dark palette. This palette's so cool. And this is a really interesting color here. It's called Lounge, and it's green, but it's kind of got like this purple flecks in it. I thought this would be really cool for New Year's Eve. I didn't want to do the whole traditional, overly glitter winged eye. I wanted to do something a little different. So I'm just taking a packing brush, and we're going to pack that right on the lid with a MAC 224 brush. And then of course, what you gotta do next? Blend it on out. Now, going back in with the pencil brush, I'm gonna take Smoke Show, and I really wanna make sure that my outer and inner corners are darker. So just making sure everything is nice and blended. And like I said, when you do blend your colors together, sometimes you do lose a little bit of the pigmentation. So most of the time you always have to go back just to add a little bit more color. Next up, I grabbed my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sweet Glow Kit, and you guys know I love Sassy Grape. I thought that would be like a cute little payout to add to the eyelid, so I'm just taking Sassy Grape, and I'm gonna pat that right on the center of my lid, and I just love the look. It's got these three colors going with the blue, the green, the purple. It's nice and shimmery. I love it. It's really, really pretty. And then just blending everything out. All right, let's speed it up. Next, we're not doing wing liner. We're just going to do the basic line across the lash line. Keep it as nice and tight as possible because I don't want anything too thick because it's going to be overpowering and we don't want to take away anything from the eyeshadow look. That's my thing. Anytime I work really hard on my eyeshadow, I never want to do too thick of a wing liner. Then next we're going to pop on some lashes. These have been my favorite for the past week. The Andrea number 33 lashes. Very light and wispy. And I'm spraying my face with the Smashbox Photo Primer water because today I'm using the Marc Jacobs Remarcalbe foundation. If you have not used this foundation, it is potent, okay? It is so thick. No, I'm sorry, not thick. It's so pigmented. So I like to take my time, only take a couple of dots, and I'll work one side of the face because if you go in with this foundation way too much, it will look thick. You will legit look like you have a mask on. So take your time with it. Make sure your beauty blender is damp. I recommend a beauty blender for sure with this foundation versus a brush. Otherwise, it's gonna be nice and thick on your face. And then for a slight contour here, I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Stick Foundation in Earth. And I like to take my Real Technique stippling brush and just blend that right on into the skin right there on my cheekbone. This is my favorite cream contour. I love it. It's so easy. And then the shade for it is perfect. And you know I can't forget my 5 head because I got a big old head and we got to contour that. All right, and then to set it all in place, I'm just taking the Sacha Buttercup powder, and I got a little messy with my contour there, so I'm just cleaning that up a little bit, setting up under my eyes and everywhere where I put my foundation at. And this foundation, it took me a long time, but like I'm talking a year before I was like, okay, I'm into it, but it photographs so well, but it's expensive. It's super expensive. Now, this is the newest Tarte Contour Palette, version 3, and I'm taking that darker shade there, and make sure you tap off the brush because as you see, as soon as it goes into my face, I was like, ooh, that's a little bit too much, so I did go in with my powder brush just to go ahead and buff that down, but make sure you tap it in and wipe it off slightly because it is pigmented like crazy. I'm going to have a review on this palette coming up soon. And of course, just going over my forehead again with that same color, but very, very light-handedly. And then I love the blush tone in this palette. That's going to go on my cheeks next. It's totally different from the Makeup Shayla palette. I feel like in the Makeup Shayla palette, it's more of a pinky tone. And this is more of like a neutral rose tone, and I love it. And then for my lash line, because it's a smoky eye, so we gotta make sure we got some liner. I'm using this overly expensive Marc Jacobs eyeliner. And then what I'm doing is I'm smoking it out with a dark eyeliner and then going in with that lounge color for the lid. Next, I'm popping on the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sassy Grape in the inner tear duct because, you know, that just makes the look. And don't forget to put on your mascara. I'm using my favorite Stila Huge Extreme Lash. And then Whirl MAC lipstick. And that's going to conclude this look. Everybody be safe, have a happy new year, and I will see you in 2017.